Yeah.
It's always a new hairstyle.
I think basically what they've got to do is try and like find a hairstyle that accommodates to his current level of baldingness. Like, as he's aging, it's just like, guys, we should probably actually keep about 3 years between each film rather than like 17. I can't wait for the box set.
Ving Rhames is looking old now, though, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's looking big as well. Same old Ethan.
Same old Ethan. All right, Daffy, fuck off.
And Simon Pegg, he's looking quite athletic. I thought he's like on that boat, and he's just kind of he looked like he's lost a lot of weight. He's looking quite good.
Yeah, probably because he can't afford to eat anymore because he's doing no work. He's on them smart price beans. That's why.
He's working on bloody Star Wars, Star Trek, everything. He's literally writing for everyone. He wrote Star Trek 3, didn't he?
He wrote Star Trek 3?
Mm.
Oh, wow.
He wrote that.
I didn't realise.
Yeah, and he does a lot of work for Star Wars as well.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. He's doing really well. Right.
What happens when you start a podcast just watching the Mission Impossible trailer? Anyway, should we get to it?
Yeah. Should we do our intro first?
I guess so. I don't know why that we even bother because we never actually introduce ourselves anymore. I'm Jimmy. This is Al. You know us by now.
Welcome to Thors-Kin podcast, episode number 26.
26, yeah, just us. Yeah. We were just saying before we started recording, then it's like going out and a couple swinging and then actually coming home and realising that you've just got to cook dinner and go to work the next day just with your actual wife instead of the rest of the people. It's just like, I'm bored of you now.
Usually it's like, oh, bam, 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 bam. But lately it's been like, bam, 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 bam. It's been like a bit of a multi-podcast fuckfest.
Please never do that again. Please. I thought we got out of the habit of that starting off podcast with things that I need to edit out.
You're not going to edit that out. No fucking way. The sound effects are perfect.
Before we get into actual shit that we've got to talk about, I've seen Twitter has been amazing this week. Obviously, after the Super Bowl, the first tweet that I've ever liked of Donald Trump, he puts a picture of whoever it was. I didn't see the actual raw picture, but someone from the Patriots with Hillary Clinton's face photoshopped over it. And it's when you think you're gonna win, but you wind up losing. It was actually quite funny. And then straight after that, I saw this video of this this kid playing. It was like one of those, you know how like our town park by where we are, it's got the fountains that come up out the ground.
Oh yeah.
And this little kid walks over to it and he's going to play in it, but he puts his foot directly over the spout and it fucking launches this toddler like 3 foot in the air, makes him do a somersault. And as that's happening, the camera's panning to the right and there's, whether it's the mum or what's going on, does she fucking move? No, she just watches this kid get tossed up in the air. Oh, I need to get to downloading some videos so we can put them in the background of this because it's some of the funniest shit I've seen. That was.
There's a mom joke there, but I respect you enough not to say it. Or do I respect you enough to say it? I don't know. Which one should it be? Or spouting, spurting, squirting. I don't know. Great to be back here with you. It's never a ball ache doing a show with you. I love what we do. And we've picked up quite a fucking fair few listeners as well after Garrett and Justin triggered. So I'm really happy with that. It was a great show. I'd say it's probably our best show to date last week. I really, really enjoyed it. I listened back and it was a really good listen. So, yeah,
it was a shame we didn't have a lot of subjects to talk about. We ended up just like hanging out and essentially just chatting shit, didn't we? But that was good.
I think that was the whole golden joy of it, is just the fact that we were just getting on and just talking shit. Like, people love that stuff, you know.
But this week's completely different. We've got loads to go through. We've got a bunch of gaming stuff, sort of closures with layoffs with Capcom, Red Dead Redemption news. We've got trailer after trailer. We've got Venom, Jurassic Park, Infinity War, Deadpool, Skyscraper, Mission Impossible, Solo. And then we've got some
Cloverfield.
actual full things that we're going to be going into. So it's going to be jam-packed this week. So I'm kind of glad that it's just us so that we can go a bit more in-depth with stuff. So it's going to be good.
And as well, we need to recap with superhero bar fight as well for all you listeners that have, so last week we put Darth Maul and Agent Venom, should I say, through to the final. So we're going to be discussing that a bit later as well.
Yeah,
that'll be a good one.
That's going to be a very, very good one. I think we got everything right last week in terms of Darth Maul versus Kratos. Darth Maul taking the win. It was Kratos is a badass, but thinking about it, it wasn't that much of a challenge. And then it was what was it? It was Red Hood versus Agent Venom again. Not really too much of a fair fight there. That was a bit one-sided.
We put it down to a bit of planning and preparation. I think if Red Hood could go back to Bruce's cave and pick up some ultrasound equipment, then it could stand a chance. But it's a spare of the moment fight, and in that case, no.
Exactly. No so Darth Maul versus excuse me, Agent Venom coming up later. So stay tuned for that. Do you want to do some of your shout outs that you like to do each week?
I was going to do a shout out to Garrett and Justin, of course. They put on a really good show for us last week, and then I stayed and did a really drunk episode with them afterwards for their show. It was really good fun. I love those guys. Genuinely thinking about going to Arizona to see them. When money gets better and stuff. I'd love to do that.
Yeah, man. I didn't realise you did a drunk one. I knew you did a podcast with them that I'm yet to see, but I'm hitting that up next as soon as we're finished here.
Talking about ex-girlfriends and stuff like that, which is really good. I'm glad my wife doesn't listen to them, but nothing too bad. Well, I was drunk, so inhibitions flying loose. And as well, this is personal to me, but I did yesterday. We're recording the show a day late because yesterday I got called to the prison to do some zombie work you saw on Instagram and stuff. And I just wanted to give a shout out to Immersive Events team for giving me the opportunity to zombie up again and chase folk around. They really do work hard there. They've got so many things going on. And if you're local to sort of Shrewsbury, Shropshire area, I really would give them the Dana prison, or they've got a couple of other prisons as well, but I would definitely give that place. There's so much going on. There's like tours and there's prison escapes, cell escapes. There's even a play barn there. So, hit them up. Immersive Events, great people.
I'll go for the play barn. Give me a broom full of like the little balls, just a ball pit to just jump into and foam, and an environment that I can't hurt myself in, and I'm set.
Well, when we were zombied up and all dressed up, we had Tim, who's one of the monsters, and he had long hair and a beard, and he had like a the outpatients or the what are they called? The overall things that they wear when you're in hospital. Yeah. And he had all blood all over him and a mask, and he's like, "I'm going to go to the play barn now and run in." There was blood down his face. Oh God, it would have killed some kids. But yeah, it was great yesterday. So thanks for that. And should we start with the things that could be or the things that have been? Trailers or actual things
well,
you've seen?
Why don't we? Because it's not a massive amount. Why don't we go through? It will take about 5 minutes to wrap up all of this because it's only a few bits. Do you want to get all the gaming shit out of the way first?
Yeah. Okay.
Quick fire. Red Dead Redemption. Rumors of first-person view, which is kind of a given after GTA. I'm liking the sound of that, and then also maybe a battle royale mode. What's your take on all of this, everything having to have a battle royale mode? And do you think Red Dead will have one, and how would it do it? And would you play it?
I played Command & Conquer Red Alert for years and never once played the story mode. I always went straight onto skirmish, set up a couple of opponents and just, enjoyed the fight. And I think that's what people enjoy. They've always enjoyed that battle royale, everyone just fighting everyone. A quick game, shooting at people, and then going to the next one. Not everyone's into story modes. Some people are, so it's good to have the option.
I prefer personally for them to put all their effort into like heists, because like after GTA Online, they've got like no real need to step away from that. They could just do the same model essentially, but in a Western environment.
It'll come. It'll come, I reckon.
That would be incredible. Setting up your crew and doing like all your bank robbery, like train robberies and all that kind of stuff. That would be wicked. But did you play GTA 5 in first person? Did you get it on the latest consoles, or did you play it on 360?
Do you know what I did? I did get it on the Xbox One. I think I played it for about 4 days and then resold it again because I was just like, it's the same shit. I think I forgot there was first-person mode on there.
Yeah.
My buddy Matt, who I'll talk about on the show a lot, I'm going to get him on here one day. Anyway, he used to go banging on about how much they all go on it and stuff. I bought it, and then they bought some other fucking game they went on, so I was like, fuck you guys. So I didn't play it.
Yeah, I recently got back into it a while back and then got to a certain point and kind of got distracted. But I don't know. Like, to me, I enjoy playing it in first person, but it's not completely set up for first person mode, so it doesn't quite feel the same. It feels a bit heavy and a bit forced, like the way that you get into cover and everything. It's a cover shooter at the most part of it, and that just doesn't necessarily work in first person. So I probably end up playing it third person anyway.
Or like what was it you that said the overhead GTA?
Yeah, we were talking about that last week.
That'd be great. You know.
Yeah. Anyway, that was literally just wanted to cover that. The big thing, really. Are you a Dead Rising guy? Did you ever play them? What your thing?
No, not really.
Yeah.
I played the first one when it first, because it was launched with the Xbox 360, wasn't it? Dead Rising.
Yeah.
If I remember. I played that one. I may have played the third one. I think I played the third one. And that was it. It's 4 now, isn't it?
Yeah, 4 was brilliant. Like, number 1 was okay, but like the time restrictions were annoying. 2 was abysmal. 3 completely changed the tone and fixed the most part of the timing issues, like the counters on each mission, but not completely. 4 just turned around and said, you know what? We're not taking ourselves seriously anyway, so just fuck it. They've removed all the timers. It plays like a normal game, and it is so fucking fun. I'd highly recommend you play it. I really would. But they've basically come out this week and said that the portion of that studio that is responsible for the Dead Rising, they've laid off a bunch of people and they're scaling Dead Rising back. And to me, it needs to go the opposite way. Like, Dead Rising could be brilliant. It's a little bit glitchy, and if they rounded off that, it could be like a AAA game on par with anything else. But it's got a little bit of Capcominess to it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, the kind of
just not quite polished enough as it should be. But yeah, apparently they're reining it back. So I think somewhere along the lines, Microsoft have, because obviously they're the ones who they funded number 3. And published that. They did most of the work, I believe, with 4 before that went over to PlayStation last year. So I think maybe they closed their checkbook to Capcom. Dead Rising. I think that's what's happened here.
Do you think, like how everything, like half a decade ago, was all vampires and werewolves? It was everywhere, like Twilight, this, that, and the other, and it kind of died out. You very rarely see anything vampire or werewolf related now. Do you think zombies and that kind of apocalyptic thing has maybe run its course now?
Possibly, but you've got Call of Duty sparking new interest in that every year with millions of people. You've got Far Cry 5, who have you seen the DLC pack that they got for that?
No.
Their season pass looks wicked. They've got it's split into 3. They've got zombies, which in that environment, those graphics, complete co-op is going to be fun as hell. They've got a Vietnamese looking thing, and then they've got a mission to Mars. So they're going to have zombies. Whether they do like an 80s, whether the Vietnam is like an 80s thing, I don't know, because they did that with a Blood Dragon. That was wicked. And then the Mars one, which is probably going to be their version of the futuristic lasers, pew pew kind of thing.
Pew pew.
People are going to be going sick for that as well. So I get what you're saying, and I possibly, but zombies it seems to be this theme that doesn't want to die. Excuse the pun. That wasn't even intentional. It just doesn't. Like it's.
I would rather them make a new Left 4 Dead. That was brilliant. That's what my name is. Left 4 Dead was fantastic.
It would be.
We have 4 people, and
see, remember though we were talking last week about the rumors of Microsoft buying Valve.
Yeah,
that would come with Left 4 Dead, and that would be insane because that would be perfect for them because they love that 4-player co-op. They're doing it with State of Decay. That's that's the Microsoft MO, isn't it?
It's a great model. I mean, you've got 4 people that meet up online with a vast world where they've got to survive. That's perfect. People would buy for that where they have to work together, like Destiny and stuff like that. That would print money. There you go.
It would. Yep. So Capcom laying people off, Dead Rising, whether it even happens, a game like that gets its funding cut. That could have turned into a real bad word then, couldn't it? You funding cunt. That might be it. They say that they're making the next one, but this is the setup for something to get cancelled, to be perfectly honest with you, quite easily. Should we get on to the good stuff? Shall we?
Yeah, and I'm going to save the Cloverfield and Altered Carbon for later because I really want to talk about them.
Yeah.
So let's talk of trailers for now. Let's talk about what could be. Let's go straight into Jurassic Park, the new trailer for that.
So Jurassic Park, this trailer for me...
Jurassic World, sorry.
Yeah, sorry, Jurassic World, was the epitome of getting a trailer wrong versus getting a trailer right.
Yeah.
Just completely different.
It looks so much better. Like the last one was like, there's a volcano exploding, there's dinosaurs rolling down a hill, and then he's swimming after the ball that's fallen in the water. It all looks very fucking samey. It's all... But this one, you've
creepy.
got the fucking chick. Yeah. You got the chick running around with a machine gun now.
Was she still in her high heels?
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, I hope she is.
There's different dinosaurs. I saw an Allosaurus. I saw one of them.
Why are they all from South London?
Allosaurus. I'm a Stegosaurus. Hey. And then you got the Velociraptor.
The Russian.
I don't know how I feel about the whole blue thing. Blue for me doesn't make sense because I got taught that cold-blooded, like you should know, cold-blooded animals, reptiles and things, they work on instinct, instinct only. So like him making friends with a raptor and them being lifelong friends, I don't think it would work for me.
It doesn't quite work like that. So you can take the emotion out of something and you can still train an animal. Like I saw a video the other day of a lizard that learnt to play fetch. An iguana, like literally that, and would come to his name. Like you could train him like a dog, and that might be like 1 in a million, like a very intelligent lizard.
I was going to say, was it raised in Mauritius next to the nuclear fallout zone?
Yeah, you could just see on the video the same guy's shelf. He had like the 3-eyed goldfish from Simpsons. But yeah, it could be like a really intelligent iguana mixed with a really diligent trainer, and fair enough, but it can happen. So take your mind out of it. Like just take things with a pinch of salt, but you enjoy things more then.
He's fucked that dinosaur, though, isn't he?
Oh, he's totally fucked the dinosaur with little T-Rex fingers.
I'm your boy, Blue. I'm your boy. I like the dinosaur running down the tunnel, and that guy's like, "Oh, it's a T-Rex, and she's like, "It's not a T-Rex," and it turns out it's just something just as nasty. And you got that scene where Chris Pratt jumps through the mouth of the T-Rex as it's biting down. I thought that was quite cool.
Yeah, well, they've done like an Indominus Rex thing again, haven't they? I think, have they made like a Super Raptor here? Have they mixed maybe an Allosaurus with a Raptor?
I don't know, but I suppose if it goes one way, make a big dinosaur with that hoots like a fucking Velociraptor, I guess you can get a Velociraptor that's just as aggressive as the big...
Yeah, they did have those. A Utahraptor. It was like... So... Everyone thinks that the Velociraptor is what you see in Jurassic Park, and it's not. That's based on a dinosaur called Deinonychus. Just get my paleontology geek on for you.
You sound like Ross from Friends.
Yeah, I'm the monkey doctor. But yeah, there was one that was basically like 3-4 times as high called Utahraptor, which I would not want to meet. Like, that just seems fucking lethal to me. But this looks like they've taken like a really dark horror route to part of it. And you'll watch it and it'll probably just be all Hollywood action. But there's elements to this that reminded me of, the T-Rex scene in Lost World where it gets into the city. It reminded me of that, but with a little bit more of a dark twist to it rather than a twist to it. Do you know what I mean? Like,
I wanted dinosaurs. What I really, really want, is for them to, like, say you go to Honolulu or something. It's a big city, millions of people living there, and dinosaurs have just fucked that place up. And there's dinosaurs walking through cities and people hiding, very Terminator-esque, and they've got to try and save people. Like, I thought that'd be really good. Like, that was my idea of 10 years away from Jurassic Park and come back again. I also like the idea of the park actually working for a bit. But yeah,
yeah. Why can't they just have a documentary where it's just, this is the success? Look at these turnover figures; they're miraculous.
I suppose you can get that with the new Genesis style game, can't you? The new Jurassic World game.
Yeah.
But no, I'm looking forward to this. I just think it's going to be very samey. I liked bits of Jurassic World, bits annoyed me, but overall I thought it was a good film. Didn't think it was great. I think it was the fact that we'd waited like 10 years for a new Jurassic Park movie. That's why it did subliminally well, like, at the cinema. But yeah, watch the space. I don't know when it's released, but I'll go and watch it. Of course, it'll print money.
Yeah.
I think we should do the ones that are fresh on our memory. So I think we should move on to Mission Impossible, the new Mission Impossible movie.
Boom. I enjoyed that. I really did. We watched it literally we started recording straight after, like literally seconds after. I was saying to you, I don't watch Mission Impossible films for the story and the character development and to see his family tree and how his story arc changes. Just blow some shit up, make it cool, make it completely unbelievable, and I'm good. It's just more of the same. Like it's Superman. Superman has a non-CGI, non-mustache.
I've got a note for this, right? And I want the producers and everyone in the world, stop trying to make mustaches happen. Mustaches are never going to happen. Stop putting them on cool people like Henry Cavill. I've got a full-on beard, right? Beards happen because they're cool as fuck. Mustaches aren't. Nobody wants to look like fucking Ned Flanders, all right? Just stop it, right? Because even in the skyscraper movie that we're going to talk about in a minute, the guys that he's fighting, they look like the fucking Chuckle Brothers, right? I don't want to see mustaches on people.
I would love to see a Die Hard film with the Chuckle Brothers as the fucking villains. It would go really, really well.
They're sawing a person literally in half. To me, to you, with this really sick smile on their face as they're doing it. Yeah. Mission Impossible looks very Mission Impossible-y, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You get what it says on the tin, bit of high techiness, I imagine, and a lot of action, a lot of stunts, and a different hairstyle for Tom Cruise. We did say this exact same thing before the show. I don't know if you recorded it, but I'm going to say it again. Yeah, hairstyle. He always has a different hairstyle. So, what's your favorite? Yeah, he's getting on. He doesn't look old though. He's doing really well, I think. I don't think he's had much surgery. He's not a surgery type, I don't think. Yeah. But what's your favorite Mission Impossible?
I don't really have a favourite Mission Impossible. They're a bunch of films that I could watch any one of. I enjoyed the last one. Was that not
Rogue Nation?
Rogue Nation. Yeah, I enjoyed that one. I enjoyed the car chase scene in that. That put the James Bond's car chase scenes on notice. I think they looked at that and they were just like, shit, what do we do with the first 5 minutes of each of our films now?
I like the second one. Second one's always been my favorite. I love it. It just seemed a bit more hardcore, and I like the soundtrack. Obviously, I've been a big Limp Bizkit fan.
Yeah, the first three films took themselves quite seriously, didn't they? And then they were like, we can't compete with James Bond. We need to go a bit of a different route. And then
And I
James
think
Bond did the opposite. It got way too serious.
I think it could be a lot of having Simon Pegg on board because like he came in from the third one, if I'm right.
Yeah.
Simon Pegg became part of the crew, and like he likes to tinker with movies. He may see him in the background of movies, but I know a lot of people come to him for ideas for things, so might be something to do with him. Maybe I know. Maybe I'm guessing. You know.
Yeah, quite possibly. Like I didn't, like you were saying, I didn't even realize he was involved with like all the Star Wars stuff, Star Trek.
Yeah, I think
I knew he was in it, obviously, but
if I'm right, I'm pretty sure he wrote Star Trek 3, the new Star Trek movie, and he did a lot of mediating, I suppose, towards Star Wars. He has had a lot of influence in that. The guy can write, you know. He's had so many hits, Simon Pegg. So
I'd love to see a new Shaun of the Dead. I know that they've got another. Him and Nick Frost have got another project in the works at the moment, but I'd love to see Shaun of the Dead not be a low budget English cult film. Do you know what I mean?
I think that was the charm of it, though. That was the, you know, I really liked it. I'll always love Shaun. Any of them movies, Hot Fuzz, you know, yarp.
I wasn't a fan of Hot Fuzz, and I hated This Is the End. This is the end of the world. I thought that was
World's End.
Steaming pile of shit that was.
Yeah, I wasn't too keen on that, but the rest have been great. I used to love space, though. It was like one of the first things that was really obscure that I really liked. You know, I used to like Red Dwarf and stuff like that as well. It's really silly, but you know,
yeah,
it's stoner TV, isn't it? You know?
That's one that I could never get into. I like Spaced, but I couldn't get into Red Dwarf. I just didn't get the humor in it.
It was silly. That's all it was.
Yeah,
silly. Solo.
Going solo. I'm going solo. Jason Derulo. It just, I don't know. There were some cool bits in it, but I've got no hype towards it. I don't know what it is. Like, hype to shit for Rogue One, hype to shit for Episode 7 and 8. Little letdown with 8, but it is what it is.
I think
no
the cast
interest.
Amazing. Emilia Clarke, Game of Thrones, she's in it.
Yeah, you got Alpha from Power Rangers. You've got the villain from Destiny in it. You've got all these people.
And you've got as well, what's his name? Donald Glover. He's always good in things. He's playing Lando. Do you know what? I think it looks great. I think the special effects. I love that little racer that he's racing in. Mm-hmm. It looks a bit like a Ferrari. It's quite cool. The big spoiler on the end. I think the guy looks nothing like Harrison Ford or Han Solo, but I can, you know, I'm realistic enough to kind of put that to one side. I'm not going to be one of these Star Wars fans like, he looks nothing like Harrison Ford. Like, what do you want them to do? You know? And I like the cast, of course. I'm a big Game of Thrones fan, so I love seeing a bit of Daenerys Targaryen in that. Chewie looks a bit small and a bit anorexic.
She is so hot, right?
She is. I like her better as a brunette as well. Like, when she's got that blonde wig on, yeah, she's still hot. But there was a film she was in with somebody not long ago. What was it? It was a chick flicky type film, and he was dying. But it was actually quite a delightful movie. And she was always wearing like bright, colourful dresses, and she had a hair, bright red lipstick. She's hot, man. Yeah. But Solo, I'm going to like it for two reasons. One, because it's fucking phenomenal. And two, because I'm going to watch Star Wars fans implode because they can't seem to
they will. Facebook and Twitter is going to be a fucking massacre. The reason I don't think I've got any hype about it is that I like my Star Wars film to impact something. Like Rogue One, even though it wasn't part of the main thing, it tied in. It impacted a lot. I was saying this to you. I've said it a bunch of times throughout the podcasts. What I want out of my Star Wars films is to just move the story on. That's all I want. I don't care how good it is and what actually happens. I just want the next chapter in the story, and I'll play the games to get my mind into it. You know, that's me as a child going into the universe. Just want the story moving on. Han Solo doesn't. I don't know how it's going to impact anything. I'm
thinking the Hutts might be the link. Jabba the Hutt, maybe, because they kind of tie into Star Wars a lot, and he's always banging on about how he wants to kill Han Solo and he's let him down. So I don't know. We might see some Boba Fett as well, maybe.
as long as I
possibly.
can like link it into something and it makes sense. I just don't want it to be a cash grab, and I hate that term because I'm a big believer in that people do things not for the cash grab, but because they can make money out of doing a project that they love. I don't think anyone puts years of their life into something that they don't want to do. I don't think anything in general is a cash grab, but I don't want this to be a cash grab.
I think we could possibly see a cameo with Ewan McGregor as Obi-Wan, maybe. This is just me pulling things out of the air. It's because it's got to be between episodes 3 and 4, right? Yeah, so you've got them making the Obi-Wan movie. They're using Ewan McGregor. He's kind of looking, like Jedi-ish now. Possibility, maybe. Could be a link.
Maybe.
But I don't think he knew Obi-Wan, did he?
I don't think so. Is that the time frame between 3 and 4 then?
It's got to be, isn't it? It's got to be before A New Hope. Because like Han Solo was in his early 20s or something in A New Hope. So, and he looks like maybe late teens, possibly just 20 in this one. I don't know.
I reckon he could be a bit younger than you think,
You reckon?
Yeah. I reckon we could be talking a 17, 18-year-old. He looks a little bit old for that, but the films try and get away with that stuff, don't they?
All we know is that Han Solo's made a name for himself as a bit of a ratbag, so there's got to be a reason for it, and we're going to see it in this movie, aren't we? So that'll be interesting. So,
one last point about it. Didn't like the music.
It was a bit rocky, wasn't it? It was a bit,
yeah. I didn't like that. I was a little bit, this isn't Star Wars.
And at the end, it's like that wow, 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 at the end.
Yeah, it's like if you gave the Far Cry Blood Dragon team the theme tune to do.
Yeah, it was a bit weird. Good point, actually. Good point. I think the music makes a movie. Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And even more importantly with Star Wars. But do you want to move on? Because we've got loads of trailers to go through. I could talk about Star Wars all day, but do you want to quickly cover maybe Skyscraper?
Oh, fucking hell. Here we go. Yeah, let's cover this subliminal piece of shit. What is this crap? What is this shit? Like,
it seemed a bit pointless.
It's stupid. Like, I tell you exactly what it is. I always go on about this fucking table, this amazing table I always go on about. There's a table somewhere in Warner Brothers. I don't even know who's making this film, but like they sat around and like, we want Die Hard, but bigger, with big explosions. We want The Rock, and we want it to be ridiculous, and we want the building to be bigger. We want the lead to be bigger, and we want him jumping from a crane to a window he has no fucking chance of reaching. It looks ridiculous. It's stupid.
And then one guy then goes, give him a wooden leg.
Yeah. No, we won't make it wooden. We'll make it titanium with machine guns attached. Yes, that's what we'll do. It reminded me of... go on.
I can imagine at the end where like it goes to that epilogue bit and it's years later and it fades back in and you just see The Rock and just walking his family, and then the villain comes from the left hand side and all you hear is just like the Transformers, just like...
Oh god, he's looking old as well, The Rock, in this. I didn't like that at all. No, I don't like the look of this movie. Like I said, the villains look like the Chuckle Brothers, and they got that really shit Russian accent. It looks cliche as fuck. It reminded me of the mixture between Die Hard and Paul Blart. That's my...
Oh, can you imagine a Kev Smith movie that was Die Hard mixed with Paul Blart? That would be fun.
They tried that with Cop Out, didn't they? With Bruce Willis, and it didn't go well at all.
Kev Smith did that?
Yeah. It was one of the most catastrophical fuck-ups of movie history. Like, Bruce Willis was tantruming because Kev Smith was smoking too much weed. Kev Smith was pissed off because Bruce Willis was just lazy. He wouldn't follow direction in any way, shape, or form. It was a real bad mess, that film was. Yeah, that was him. You got any more thoughts on this movie? Anything you could say?
I thought it was worth an honourable mention, but not too much time, to be honest. It got me interested to begin with. I like the idea of this skyscraper that was the tallest ever, and it was like they'd built in all the ecosystems into it. They had like forest inside this fucking building. But I just kept throughout it going. As soon as I saw that, and they showed the picture of the entire skyscraper, I was like, "So what?" So this guy is just a security guard that's in there. We had two films in the same year come out, one after another, with Gerard Butler with whatever their film was, London.
That's Fallen.
Something's Fallen, and then Channing Tatum with White House Down. They both redid Die Hard that year.
Yeah,
we don't need it redoing
quite
again.
Good efforts as well.
I like both of those films. They're different tones. Yeah. I need to make sure I don't forget about Thieves, Den of Thieves, mentioning Gerard Butler before we move on. We'll do that in a bit.
The two other things we're going to talk about at the end. I want to talk about the Venom movie because, there's a lot of love for this movie trailer, but not from me.
I was just like, I thought you were going to pause longer and I could have actually CGI'd over the screen some tumbleweed. Said no one ever. Jesus Christ. What the fuck? Was it someone on our Facebook page that I saw made a comment that they've waited all this time to make a trailer like out of this? And they was like, right, how do we not get the hatred of doing a CGI suit? It's just like, don't put Venom in it at all, something along those lines. I was just like, yeah, well, that is so fucking true. Why the fuck have they not put even the slightest glimpse of the symbiote in it?
Well, you saw it in the tank swilling around, but that was about it. And I don't know. I mean, you got all these fucking... I've got a new phrase now, which I absolutely love, by the way. You've got all these 30-year-old teenage women that all go, "Ooh, it's Tom Hardy." I saw one comment on Facebook, some woman going, "Oh my God, Tom Hardy's a Marvel superhero." And I was like, what? He's nowhere near it. Venom is a murderous piece of shit. He's not a hero at all. Agent Venom maybe. No, I don't like this at all. I love Tom Hardy. I think he's a great actor, but he's literally doing the same talk and the same walk with the same stupid look on his face that he has in every fucking movie. It's just stupid. This was just a finger fest for fucking teenage girls. That's all it was.
They're probably going to do a double bill at the cinema where they put the third 50 Shades on straight after this.
Yeah.
It's just like, you know what? We won't get the cleanup crew in. Just come in after Venom.
I mean, I'll be looking forward to if they do Carnage. That'd be great.
Oh yes.
I mean, I'd love to see Carnage.
Oh God, who would you get to play Carnage?
Probably Willem Dafoe.
Why was I thinking the same thing? That's so weird. I was gonna say fucking Green Goblin. That is so weird. That wasn't even fucking staged. That's wicked. I love it when moments like that happen. Oh, brilliant.
That's why we do a show together. This looks like a bag of shit. It's out of context. It's got no depth to it. I mean, it's probably going to be good.
The motorbike scene looked like the backstage of Fast and the Furious, you know, before they've cut out all the fucking pulley systems and they've actually touched all the picture up. It's like you've shot it on that fast moving camera that's actually shot in 140 frames per second, but it's only showing 30 and it's in like fucking 700p resolution. It's like, why is that going into your trailer? Like, I can see the fucking cranes that are pulling the cars away as you're motorbiking through them. Like,
I get that it's early stages yet. I think they've only just finished filming, haven't they? So they've literally like gone, bam, 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 here's your trailer, fuck off. Yeah. Like, you know, because they've only recently wrapped. So it's a quick trailer. We don't know anything yet. We're speculating. I'm gonna hate this movie because it doesn't make sense to me. I don't know how you can have a Venom movie without Spider-Man. Like you can do like this Venom verse thing they've got going in Marvel at the moment, where it's like on the planet and you've got like other symbiotes fighting each other and stuff. That's great, you know. I love that, but it doesn't make sense to me. So yeah, watch this space.
Yeah, I reckon this is going to be a Weapon X style X-Men thing where it's him escaping the facility, going through his origin story, and it's going to be of the same ilk as Wolverine Origins. I really do.
I just think this is Sony taking dig at Disney and using that IP so they can't use it anywhere else.
Yeah, make a film because they've got to, otherwise they'll lose the license.
That's it. Yeah, that's all I think it is. And then we'll never see a Venom story in whatever concoctions Disney will make now. The
thing is, I'd love to see this turn into Agent Venom.
Great. But
if they did that and they straddled the line between he's a bit fucked up, but he's trying to be good, and then built it into like an Agent Venom thing, but obviously they can't tie it into S.H.I.E.L.D. because licensing, that's fair enough. Then it could be its own thing, and you'd never need Spider-Man in it.
You need that Peter Parker Flash relationship thing. You need to let people know. Yeah, I think so, because how awesome is it to have Peter Parker's bully become a superhero?
It's been done 10 times. Like, we've done that with fucking Tobey Maguire. Like, I'm sick of the golden age of comics having to be redone. Like, let it be its own thing. I don't think it needs this the Spider-Man input into how he becomes Venom. But I get what you're saying with how do you have the film without him? Like, who's going to be the bad guy?
I'm talking specifically about Agent Venom. I mean, if you're going to do Agent Venom with Flash, you need to put in that story. You need to show him being a bit of a dick as a kid, because it's kind of redemption, and it's kind of like he realizes that he was a bit of a dick, becomes a special agent, and then loses his legs. I think you need to show that. And how do you show that without him going to the same high school and bullying the same kids?
I reckon you could do it in the same way of Deadpool. Of fuck it, we won't. He's just a dick. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like, they got away with it, and they learned how to write that kind of story with Deadpool. But that kind of gives us a good segue
into Deadpool.
No, I was going to say into Cloverfield. Into Deadpool. What did you think of it?
I like the trailer. I think it's good. It's literally a continuation from the first one. The humor's the same. I think they're possibly trying too hard with Cable, though. I don't know.
What do you mean by that?
I think they're trying too hard with the humor. A little bit. It seems like, let's think of some fucked up shit we can say. I like the trailer. I'm not saying I didn't like it. I like the humor. It made me laugh. But let's see something a little bit different. Do you know what I mean? I want to see something a bit more depth. So I hope they do Cable right, because there's a good story there. I'm scared that they're going to be really lame with it.
Yeah, I could not disagree with you more on that one. Like, Deadpool to me should be the fourth wall breaking. Anything goes. Try too hard with your humor, and that can be in and of itself the funny part to it.
And that's like that first line in the trailer. It's not like we're trying to CGI a moustache. I love that. That was fucking great. So I agree. Yeah, I liked it, but
I think it's going to be more of the same on a bigger budget, and we'll see if it sort of succumbs to more isn't more syndrome, if that makes sense. But yeah, it looks wicked to me. I was fucking laughing all the way through it, and it finished and I had like a genuine smile on my face. The CGI arm bit, I was like, oh, that was fucking brilliant. Like, for a trailer, I get that that's not going to be in the film. That's specific for the trailer, but
I like the Woody thing as well. Reach for the sky. I love that when he's dressed as Woody.
Yeah.
That's brilliant. I love the trailer. Let me just explain quickly before I sound like a real arsehole and boring bastard. What I mean by thanks, I love you too. What I mean by the depth is, we know Spider-Man isn't going to come swinging in. We know there's not going to be any depth to the Marvel universe at all, really. Apart from the characters that we've probably already seen, So I'm just a bit wary of that.
You mean you want it fleshed out a bit more in terms of maybe have a bit more depth of why they're fighting this? Do you think at the end he's going to end up killing Cable, or do you think that he's going to end up joining and making like X-Force kind of things? Because all the characters are there now, with the exception of Wolverine for X-Force.
They'd be stupid to kill Cable off, I think, because Brolin's a good actor. He's a fucking great actor. You want to keep hold of him as long as you can get him. And I know he's playing Thanos as well. And they'll probably dig about that in the movie. I'm waiting for that shit. That'd be quite fun.
Yeah, that would be good. Just like, hang on a minute. When did you take the purple mask off?
It'll be good. I think it'll do really well. I just I don't want to get bored of Deadpool. I don't want to get bored of Deadpool. So please just like keep it fresh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Infinity War.
I loved it. It was only 3 seconds, wasn't it? It was only like 90 seconds long, that trailer. But Captain America with a metal arm. Wow.
Right. Okay. So I watched this because you said that, right? It's not a metal arm. It's so this is what's going to happen. The second before you see the metal plates on his arm, right? He has human arms.
Yeah.
Just before that, Black Panther is saying, "Someone get this man a shield." But remember the flash forward scene in Age of Ultron, where Thor goes into that little fucking spa date with the professor, and he sees the flash forward, and it's the shield's completely smashed to shit.
Yeah.
He's going to get his shield smashed. He's not going to essentially have a proper weapon. So I reckon Black Panther or Shield or whoever is going to make these like something a little. It's still probably out of vibranium, something a little bit more useful. I think they're just gauntlets. They're not, because he's got two as he's running towards all the alien-looking things on that field. He's got two. It's like he loses his left arm, but Bucky. Like that's the character. It's Bucky, I believe, that loses his arm. That's why he's got a metal arm, the actual Winter Soldier character. So Chris Evans isn't gonna lose his arm. He's gonna die, and then Winter Soldier step into the mask if they do it properly. I think this is just a gauntlet, but I'd love to be proved wrong, because I would love to see him with a proper Winter Soldier arm.
That'd be really good. I'm sorry. I put a Facebook story before we started, and I was like, if anybody wants to ask any questions during the show, please hit us up. So I've got a couple of questions to ask at the end of the show. We'll do that later. That's what I was reading. I wasn't being rude. Yeah, I think it's gonna be good. I'm a bit concerned about Spider-Man still being on school. I suppose he could be in sixth form, couldn't he? Spider-Man. Is he going to be in school forever?
Possibly. He's just young Spider-Man. Like that's cool. I'm liking the fact that they've gone with a young Spider-Man in this.
I still love that scene when his hairs go up on his arm.
Yeah.
That is such a fucking. The hairs went up on the back of my neck and my dick. No, that sounds wrong. Really wrong. Have we finished? Trailers.
We've done a few trailers. I just reckon, just to round that off, I reckon Infinity War is going to be the biggest film ever. I think it's almost inevitable. It's going to smash all sorts of records. I don't know whether it's going to do the same ratings as in like reviews, because apparently Black Panther is like the fucking shit. So we'll see. But
I nearly made a big dick joke then, but then I'll just get slammed for being racist, like, you know, wading into the MCU. Anyway, Infinity War is meant to be 2 parts, though, isn't it? Do you reckon that might kill it a bit? Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, I don't know. It could, but I completely trust all the writers to do a good enough job that it's gonna work. Like it's gonna make sense. It's not gonna throw the pacing out. I think it might be. They might have done this not to eke it out and milk it, but because it needs to be told in 2 parts. Like I'm glad that they're not making it a 3-part thing. But
I just hope they filmed it on the back of filming this one, so that the next year they'll be like, "Oh, we've got part 2 now," or they're going to be like, "Okay, next gen of MCU characters coming through, and then we're going to do part 2." You know?
Yeah, that's what it is. I think there's a year or 2 between them. So I think we're going to have another couple of solo films first, or you know, like whatever the films are, and then they're going to wrap it all up. But I think there's also a couple of single films after Infinity War, which threw me off.
Well, you've got Ant-Man and the Wasp, and you've got
no. I mean, after part 2.
Oh, okay.
I don't think Infinity War Part 2 is the last film. I think there's 2 more films after that, and then they were saying that they're going to make a bunch more with Spider-Man at the middle of it. Whether that's part of fate.
They're making 2 more Hulk movies, aren't they? They're making Planet Hulk. I'm pretty sure they're going down that route. I'm pretty sure I heard they're making, the Thor Ragnarok thing.
Yeah.
I think they're making like a trilogy. This is what I heard. I don't know. They're making another 2 more films,
right.
including the Hulk. So maybe they're going to go down the Planet Hulk route.
Yeah, so what I'm basing that off, what I've just said, is actually something I saw a couple of years ago when, when they released they'd finally done phase 1 and they were moving into phase 2, and they showed you what phase 3 was at the same time. Yeah. They put all the dates on it like that, which they have diligently stuck to. Like they've changed swapped a few films about, but they've kept something in each slot. There was I think 1 or 2 solo films at the end, which I don't know.
Do you think that do you think that list's gone to shit now that they've bought Fox? They could do anything now. They could literally do an X-Men movie. They could.
That's a good shout.
That
is a good shout.
That's all gone to shit. Let's move on from that because we have got quite a bit to talk about still. I've got a couple of rumors here before we go on to what we've done. Rumors of Michael Bay directing a Lobo movie.
Don't know enough about Lobo. Michael Bay's going to make it all explosions. That's my input. Take it away.
Lobo is he's DC's answer to Deadpool, I suppose. He's fucked up. I don't know an awful lot about Lobo. All I know is that he's pretty fucking badass. He's got like a microchip in his head that constantly plays metal music. It's complete fuck up. Like,
can you imagine who directed Baby Driver?
That was do that to me.
He shall be known as the person that directed Baby Driver. Can you imagine someone like that doing a film like this, using the music?
Did you not hear what I just said? Michael Bay. No, yeah, I know what you mean. That'd be great. Let's have a DC musical because that's what we need right now. There were rumors actually that they were going to make the new Spawn movie a musical. I think it was just to poke fun at. They were on about, let's do a Spawn movie, but let's make it a musical. That's quite funny.
I reckon they should get everyone hyped up, saying, right, Hugh Jackman is coming into the MCU, and everyone's like, Wolverine, and he comes in as the greatest showman, just like, this is the greatest show. It's just like, it's a musical now. Zac Efron's there. They both turn up in their red suits and their top hats. That was quite a good movie. But yeah, I really want to see
that. Last rumor, Sleeping Dogs movie. Do we really need this shit? Really?
Yeah, we don't even need another game, let alone a fucking movie. It was a decent game. It had some cool mechanics to it, but it was like it just went into the pile of, like, every sale they sell. What the fuck do they sell? They sell Metro 1 and 2 for £4, and they sell something else with it. What the fuck do they sell with it? They're always joined up, but I don't even think they're the same publisher. They sell it as like a £8, and you get 3 games. That's how I picked up Metro. Sleeping Dogs, fuck, it might even be Sleeping Dogs. Sleeping Dogs has turned into that, like, it's on sale for £4 every sale. Like, they just throw it in there. That's the kind of it's not
it's something that hasn't even got hype. So I don't know why they're doing this. I mean, I don't know. Well, I don't give a shit about it, to be honest. Okay. Let's talk about Cloverfield. Did you watch it?
I did, yes. I didn't think it was the best thing in the world, but I don't get any of the hate towards it. All I saw over Twitter that day was, oh my god, Cloverfield. And then a couple of hours later, when everyone had watched it, was like, like the little... The question mark emoji where, like, I was like, what don't you get about it? It's fucking explanatory, and it links in. Do you know what I like about it most? Like, forget about the quality of the film. In fact, right, okay, before I say that, let's rewind. Basically, if you haven't seen it yet, we won't go into too much spoilers because it's only been out a few days. We can
explain what it is. I mean, it's like, yeah, go on.
No, go on, that's fine.
I was just going to say, like, if you watched the first Cloverfield movie, it's on Netflix now. They put it on there for a reason. It'll make you ask questions about where did these monsters come from and why are they destroying fuck out the planet? Yeah. Because the film just ended.
Yeah, that film didn't make sense, did it? Like, it just was what it was.
And the Cloverfield Paradox explains that. It tells you where these monsters came from, why they're on the planet, and why they're killing everyone. What's not to love? I
Yeah.
mean,
And what I liked about it was the fact that it explained it within the first 20 minutes. Like, it didn't, like, explain everything, like, completely, but it told you what they were doing on this space station, and you can put two and two together. They have, like, the guy from Gotham doing an interview, and it's like, we're going to do this, and this could happen. Again, I'm being like, I'm saying this and that because I don't want to say exactly what it is.
yeah.
But, like, anyone who isn't an absolute tool could put two and two together. And then the rest of the film, you're just like, cool, I know what happens now. I know how we had the first film. I'll just sit and enjoy what happens here.
It was brilliant. I thought the way it was just fucked up. I mean, there was so many. I don't want to go on about it too much, but there are parts of it that are just eerie. They're eerie as fuck. These people are on a. I've got to explain a little bit about it. It's a sci-fi. These people, they're on a space station, and they're trying to find sustainable, renewable energy for the world, which is what we really need. Anyway, and they do something. It gets fucked up completely, and it just fuck up after fuck up after fuck up. Now I've got to say, right, this is a Netflix release that had special effects of a AAA movie title. You know, it was fantastic. You know,
yeah, that was what got me. Was I didn't realize that I wasn't just watching any other film. Do you know what I mean? Like, I say that I've seen a few Netflix films, especially the ones that they do. They're war films. They've made a few good war films. I've got to say, like, Netflix aren't just about series. Like, at the moment, I'm scrolling through Netflix, and I'm like, it's just series after series, and like I'm just a little bit like drowned out with all the Netflix stuff. They need to do more shit like this.
They do, and like the ones that they push, the programs that the series, like you said, are the ones to watch. They tried a few years ago. Was it Spectral?
Yeah, Spectral, with the guy from Malcolm in the Middle.
It's meant to look like a video game and feel like a video game.
No.
Like, I've never watched it, but it did really well. Like,
it's not quite, but I have watched it. Special effects completely on par and to the next level past what you saw in Cloverfield. It's a full feature length film as well. It's longer than Cloverfield was, and it's just flat out good. It's just good. What I wanted to
good. It's good.
It's good. And what I wanted to say about Cloverfield though was the fact now that did you see 10 Cloverfield Lane?
Yes.
Right. Okay. So I can't explain without ruining the film, Cloverfield Paradox, exactly what I mean by this. But basically, what it does, it opens up this camera, sort of like this camcorder film, handheld camcorder filmed movie, like that Blair Witch style, because that's what it was, wasn't it? It was, it's another one of those handheld jobs. You know what I mean? Oh, they sound fun. And it was just like that with a monster theme to it. Great. Years later, 10 Cloverfield Lane comes out, makes no sense, there's no tie-in, and people are like, is this the same universe, or does it just have Cloverfield in it? This makes both of them make sense in the same universe, and it opens up, and it opens up the franchise to not just be this weird, low-budget sci-fi franchise. It could open itself up now for them to do whatever story in different timelines that they want to, and it's like, we've explained it. Take it with a pinch of salt.
And that's what I love about it. There's like breadcrumbs, and one of the biggest breadcrumbs was that video from the guy from Gotham. Like, he explains the plot of the movie in that tiny little video that he's watching.
Yeah,
that's it.
30 seconds, isn't it?
That little video there that you watch is the most important part of all three movies.
Yeah,
you know, because he explains it, and I got to implore, it is an absolutely worth a watch. The only complaint I have from that is it's a bit too long. I was a bit like, is it finished yet? Like, what's going to happen now? Like, it's a bit like, oh, and then this happens. And then it's like, you made your point, now fuck off. You know, So
yeah, I'd agree with you there. But no, I basically my takeaway from it was that I hope every sort of like 3-4 years Netflix puts out a next installment of a something Cloverfield. I enjoyed it, man. It was good. It was good.
It's good. It's very Black Mirror-esque. That's what I was going to say as well. It's very Black Mirror-esque. Very much felt like a Black Mirror episode.
Yeah, a real high budget sort of explodey Black Mirror episode.
And then I'm going to move on to. I guess you haven't seen Altered Carbon yet.
No, but then I've got one to talk about that you've not seen. So yeah, do your one.
You suck my dick. I suck yours. Altered Carbon is one of the most amazing things I've ever seen on TV. That is it. That is what I'm at first, like, because I watched like day one of my days of relaxing on my annual leave. I watched Cloverfield, hunger as fuck after doing a show with you and Garrett and Justin. And then day two, which was the Tuesday, I sat and I watched 4 hours worth of Altered Carbon. And it was the best 4 hours of my life. It was amazing. So the first 3 episodes.
Sorry to interrupt you. How long did the main part of your wedding day take? It was about 4 hours. She doesn't watch this, does she?
Oh God, it was probably on a par. Like that, my wedding day, and then of course that tops that is my boy being born, my kid. Yeah. But
this came out on top.
This was fantastic. I mean, the first 3 episodes, it's very much like The Matrix. It reminded me of watching The Matrix again, because it gives you so much information all in one go, and you're like, what the fuck do I do with all this? I'm struggling here, guys. Just one bit at a time. It throws you all this information in this absolutely stunning futuristic environment, by the way. That's the only thing it steals from Blade Runner, is the fact that it's big, it's flashy, and it's in the future, and there's flying cars. That's the only thing it steals from Blade Runner. So don't think it's a knockoff like I did of Blade Runner. And it's basically about so the first 3 episodes give you all this information, and then there is an episode after that that goes back in the past and it explains everything, and then you're like, and then it just fucking goes like a fucking 12 gauge shotgun. Honestly, it's amazing. So basically, I'll explain it to you without spoiling it. Everyone has what's called a stack now. It's like a disc, and you can download your consciousness into the stack.
It's like
that stack.
It looks like the Cortana thing that Chief puts in the back of his head, right?
It's like, do you remember that picture of that woman's nipple that had all the holes in it? That was horrible.
One that was supposed to. Oh man, you got me. Oh, you set me off.
That's what it looks like. Anyway, that's your consciousness, and you can move that stack from bodies, which are called sleeves now, from body to body. So you can effectively live forever in the stack. You can just change your body. So now you can multi-sleeve, so you can put yourself in 2 different bodies. You can clone yourself, so you've got a fresh body if you die, and you can back up. So you can back up your consciousness into a hard drive or something. So if someone shoots you, you're backed up, you're ready to go again. It's fucking phenomenal. It is phenomenal. Like, it's opened up a great way now of carrying on with this Altered Carbon and just changing the main character to someone that's bigger and better. You can change to anyone now and it still be the main character. Very Doctor Who-esque, if you like, but better.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that. So I have watched like half of the first episode and it didn't grab me, but like the theme did. Like I got to the point where he was sat in the room and like she was explaining everything about the stacks and everything. Didn't realize it was RoboCop. Like, it just clicked straight on it. Didn't even see who it was. He's fucking hench. Like that, yeah, you would not fuck with that dude, would you? So I got to that point. I'm not a massive fan of futuristic, trench coaty, like that Blade Runner side kind of thing. Like, you know, the villain, the weird looking villain in Ghost in a Shell that had like the albino haircut. Like, yeah. I imagine every character looking like that, and I'm just like, oh, fuck off! I just go away. Like, just leave me alone. You've got
to get through the first 4 hours, because halfway through episode 4, it kicks like a motherfucker. Yeah. I'm not even joking. He gets up from a table and he just goes fucking nuts. And I mean nuts. Like, he just goes on this rampage, killing it. It's amazing. I'm not going to spoil it, but you've got to get yourself through those first few episodes, and then you'll really appreciate it. There is a scene that the scene happened, and then the episode ended. It's episode 8. I've spoken to Graham Arnold about this. It ended, and I was just like, well, fuck me. I've never seen that in a movie in my life. I've never seen so much action, violence, and nudity in one scene together. It was amazing. It's the clone room scene, and you need to watch that before you die. That's all I've got to say. Yeah, I really need you to watch this so we can talk about it.
Yeah,
so try.
I'll definitely get back into it. Like, it's the theme of it on paper. I absolutely love the idea of that. But I don't like the whole the super futuristic flying cars. It's always dark and raining, like that bit right at the start, and there's always like it's always set in like a semi Asian broken English environment, which that's how it started because that was his old character. Like that whole weird like futuristic Japanese dystopian sort of like Korean-y thing I didn't buy into. But the theme of it, so I'll push through it. I will push through it. But yeah, I've also been sort of mind blown the last few days. So I went to see Den of Thieves at the cinema. We were just like, let's go watch something. There's nothing else on. We were reeling through all these films. It was the same day that 50 Shades 3 came out. So we're like, we parked up. It was like, I know, right? The car park was packed, and it was like, what the fuck is going on? Turns out it was full of people going in to see 50 Shades. Like, that's going to sell more than fucking Infinity War. Anyway, we was just like flicking through these films before we set off. What do we go and watch? Den of Thieves. Oh, which one's that? It's the one with it's the heist one with Jared Butler in it. It's like, right, yeah, let's go watch that. So I went in knowing it was going to be my kind of film, but hoping it was going to be good. Mate, from start to finish, it is the highest quality, most professional, cleverest heist movie you have ever seen, and it's badass. It's not like full of twists that in a sort of you remember like Now You See Me, the magician one. Some films that are like it's all about the twists. Like this just throws the twists in there.
And Ocean's 11, where
yeah,
it ties up at the end.
Yeah, it's more action. It's like if you got a bunch of grunts to make an awesome heist movie, and that's what it is basically. It's Jared Butler. He's the head of this major crimes unit that is looking into like bank robberies, and the film starts off with this really professional looking crew going to steal this van, like an armoured car. And from the get-go, you know it's going to be good because they're using like proper call-outs, like they're just there holding their weapon systems properly, like making sure their safeties are on. They're calling out when police arrive, contact left, contact right, suppressive fire, all this like proper professional shit. And the sound in that film when they fire their weapon, the thud that goes through, it's like after every shot. And there is some insane fire scenes in it, like firefights, and you feel every bullet. And basically what that goes into is it sets up that this crew that are doing this job, there's a death at the start which pulls in Jared Butler to start investigating. Obviously they shoot loads of cops, so that sort of puts them on the trail of this whole story that plays out. And it's got the guy from who plays Ice Cube in Straight Outta Compton. It is his son. My girlfriend said it's his son. So it's got Ice Cube's son in it, Gerard Butler. It's got a few other actors that you'll recognise in as well. And basically Ice Cube's son is this bartender who gets dragged into this environment with this ex-army guy who I call Merriman, I think his name was. And he is one clever bastard. Like, he's an ex-marine. He's rolled with this crew forever. And he didn't quite know it, but Jared Butler was constantly going around picking up after this guy's mess, all these super advanced heists, and he finally clicks like, this is the crew that I've been chasing down. But it's just one after another of, you think the heists are unrelated, and then they all tie in. You think that people are like in charge, and it turns out that they're not. And you think that it's going one way, and then it goes a completely other. But throughout it, it's like full-on action. It's like every character is badass as fuck. Like, they don't mess about in it at all. Like, Jared Butler, like, he fucking shits you up at times. Like, he puts in a wicked performance. And it's just like, just the perfect action film for someone who doesn't want like that wouldn't happen, that's bullshit, no, they haven't thought that through. Like, you can tell they've not researched this. Like, you'd have thought they were like weapons trained in this film. Like, it's that good.
Sounds good. And I'm glad for Gerard Butler, because like on the other show that I do, somebody was talking about that, and I was like, oh, well, I expect to see Gerard Butler in the fucking jungle with Anton Deck at some point, because I didn't think his movies were doing that well. So I'm glad.
Yeah, this is full on one of the best. I think I messaged you, didn't I? But one of the best quality films. I've liked films better than my example that I'm comparing it to, but the best quality films that I've seen since Baby Driver. But this was perfect. It's right up my street. So it was the quality as well as the theme for me. I was just like, I could have gone back in and watched it again. It's a bit long. It is a bit long, but it didn't overstay its welcome because I like the theme. So definitely go and watch that.
Good. Right, now I'm going to trial a new little bit. I think this is going to be a great, good way to interact with our audience. This is a surprise. But before on Facebook Live, I said if there's anybody got any questions to answer, don't look at that. Don't look at that. Put that down. If you're looking at Facebook and what's been posted on Facebook. No. Okay, so we've had 2 questions I'm going to ask you, and you've got to answer. So we can call it questions for Jimmy or something, you know. But Graham Arnold is always.
Let's not. Just putting that out there. Let's not.
Question for Jimmy. Okay, so Graham Arnold, good fan of the show, good supporter of ours. He sent me a shitload of questions. They're all really good. But the question I've chosen out of all those fucking questions is, can a vampire get AIDS?
Can a vampire get AIDS? So clinically, the way in which AIDS works. No, I was going to take that down a road. I was just going to be like, try and pretend to be really clever. And I was just like, I'm not clever enough. I just can't do it. I reckon, can you imagine the vampire that goes around turning all the other vampires? And it's just like, you'll live forever.
But you'll have no immune system.
But you'll constantly be sneezing and under the weather.
Just so you're saying yeah, but it won't kill them.
Yeah, it'll be like, it will give all the horrible effects. It'll be like you're in bed and you're feeling really fucking shit and you're bruised and you can't walk. But
you look like Elijah Wood. You look like Elijah Wood. You look like Elijah Wood. Because he always looks ill. Okay, one more. Sorry.
I thought these were going to be like proper questions. This is like, I saw a Jack Whitehall sketch yesterday of like, this is like when, you know, in the playground where you're just like, would you rather have a tramp suck shit off your dick, or would you rather suck shit off a tramp's dick? It's just like, this is the same level. I reckon we should do that. We should do a would you rather section.
No, I think we should do, instead of Jim will fix it, we should do Jim will answer it.
Jim will answer. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yes, let's do it in bad taste, but with Thors-Kin. I've got one more question for you, and that's from my friend of mine, Shane Hinton. He sent one in, so I'm going to ask it. Right. Would you rather spend a night with Leatherface or get finger fucked by Hulk?
Spend a night? Oh, I reckon I could stand a chance of living against Leatherface. I'd just run. Yeah, I'd run, but I wouldn't do those stupid moments where I look back for more than one step. Like, because they always do that, don't they? They look back. Great, you've got to look back, but don't fucking keep running 12 yards.
Trip over a root.
Yeah, it's just like the most conveniently placed box. Just like, yeah, I'd rather spend it with Leatherface.
Just don't run upstairs. Run downstairs. He always run upstairs.
Yeah.
Okay.
What with stuff like that? Wouldn't you just get your jog on? You would, wouldn't you? You tie your shoelaces, you double knot them, and you tuck them in at the sides. You'd make sure you're comfortable, pull your trousers up a bit, and fucking tie them up, do your belt up, whatever, and you just start running.
If someone was trying to kill me, I'm pretty sure a 12-minute mile will be acceptable by me.
Yeah.
And you're a mile away then. Okay, so that's answered that one. That's great. We need to do this every week. If we can get 2 questions every week, and Jim will answer it.
Oh my God.
It's a great section, Jim.
We
got answers too long.
I reckon we need a whatever question, like, can a vampire get AIDS? And then we need would you rather.
Okay.
Alex, would you rather, if your child was ill, cue dickhead of the week, would you rather your child get cured by a black doctor or a white doctor?
Oh my God, yeah.
What a fucking cunt. Have you seen this video, right?
Yeah,
you stole my video, my dickhead of the week, so we'll just meet in the middle here. What
it's good because we've rambled a bit. Yeah, I'll put this on Thors-Kin because it absolutely fucking infuriated me, and I was just like, because we were talking about cunt of the week. I think this falls in this category absolutely. So if you're a fan of ours and you've seen Facebook, you've seen this video of this white as fuck, by the way, woman. That's a really bad thing to say on this, but no, she's really irate in a medical room, and she's pissed off because there's no white doctors to look after a little boy, and it pissed me off so much. I don't know if it's fake. It can't be fake, that can it?
No, it's not fake. It's genuine. People are like that. Like, some people, that's the way that they think. Like, actually, in this day and age, that is still the way that people think. It's just insane. Was it a black doctor or was it an Asian doctor? Do you know?
I think it was a mixture, and it doesn't really fucking matter, does it? If they've got the skills to save or make your son better or save someone's life, why should it matter what country, what religion or what origin these people have? Mm-hmm. Ignorant as fuck. Like, she should get arrested for that. I think she should definitely face legal implications for something like that because it's racism.
What it is, forget that. It's absolute gross neglect. Is exactly that her son needs treatment, and that's the reason for which that you won't let them get treatment. Fair enough that they come out and they look like the fucking guy at The Simpsons, just like, "Hi everybody." It's just like, fair enough. Like, I don't want that fucking idiot who clearly hasn't got a doctorate looking after my son. But, like, the colour of his skin doesn't, like, indicate how qualified that dude is. Like, it doesn't.
What we needed is we needed that fucking vampire with AIDS. You look like Elijah Wood.
Just like,
I'm going to give you a pass because you're young and you can learn, but you can look like Elijah Wood.
No, that kid. I'm sorry, but that kid's got the mum's genes. He goes as well.
She's a big woman. I mean, I don't know if he'd fit in her jeans. Oh, okay. No.
You're a dick.
That took you a while. No, that's a horrendous case. We've got no one famous for you for Dickhead of the Week, but this woman definitely deserves some attention. I'm not going to say go and hound her Facebook.
I would.
Trolls, but like,
I can teach her a lesson.
Give this woman some recognition. Yeah, that's it for Dickhead of the Week. Everyone's been good. Oh, actually, no, I did see. Touching on the Super Bowl thing, I did see it. I think it was fake. It's got to be fake, but it was on Twitter, and it's Donald Trump saying, "Well done to Philadelphia for winning the Super Bowl." And then it had a thing with Philadelphia's official Twitter just going, "Go fuck yourself."
Really?
But I think it's got to have been fake. There's no way the Philadelphia football team, I don't even know what they're called.
Well, no, there's been everything kicking off with the NFL. With the president, like people going out not singing the national anthem and kneeling when doing so, and all of that, like complete well-deserved disrespect to it. Yeah, that could have been genuine. I haven't seen it myself, so I don't know, but it wouldn't surprise me if it was. One last thing that we haven't talked about, just to throw it in here. Fucking, can we all give Elon Musk a round of applause for pushing humanity to the next age of space travel? Absolutely. I can't believe that we're in that this real life Tony Stark is actually doing all of this shit in my lifetime, when I've touch wood, fingers crossed, where I've got plenty of years to see this actually progress. Like, yeah, maybe I want to live 100 years in the future to see what, you know, a few of the more of the results are. But going through this journey, because it was like you've got the moon landing in 69, and then you've got 40, 50 years of nothing. Just nothing.
That simultaneous rocket launch and the way they landed was just unbelievable.
I couldn't believe that it coming back down wasn't CGI. It just doesn't look. It looks like someone's put something on rewind.
I've seen the one of them landing one on a ship whilst it's moving, the drone ship. I saw that. That was fantastic. But the simultaneous, they were exactly the same time. It was amazing. Like,
this is the difference when you've between a government-funded thing and when you've got private funding with Apple geniuses. Do you know what, like that sort of like, yes, probably hipster as fuck, but knows your shit kind of person. That he's probably just got genius after genius in. He knows his stuff himself, but there's probably like more IQ in that room at that time during that launch than probably the rest of the United States combined. And that's just because where it took place. That's not a dig, but like, do you know what I mean? Like, then the rest of the country combined, the difference that can make.
It's created a spark as well, because Airbus are up in there. I saw a suggested post last night of Airbus, and they're up in their space exploration things, because they team up with NASA. They make a lot of the hardware for NASA.
Yeah.
But I think they're going to really push forward. And like as small of a show as we are, I got really optimistic with it. And I actually messaged Airbus last night, and I was like, "Can we have a rocket scientist to come on our show?" I mean, you know, we're a small show, but we're growing. And you know what? If you want to sell something, come and fucking talk about it. So be the bigger person, Airbus, and come on our show.
Yeah, Airbus. Come on. Just get your most highly respected rocket scientist to come talk with us. But no, I just thought that was worth mentioning, because stuff like this, it's beyond like whether you're into it or not. Like, we are going to need another planet at some point, because we're fucking this one up. Like,
yeah, but he's trying to save this one too. I mean, like, he's not just doing that. He's making Tesla, and he's powered a whole fucking island just on solar power. Like,
I heard a thing on, I think it was a Joe Rogan podcast, where he's got like the walls with the battery built in, and you install that into your house, and it's like a battery wall. Basically, he had all of these things on pre-order. He had thousands of these things, and when everything happened in Haiti, I think it was, basically he told everyone, it's going to be a wait, sorry, but you can't have your stuff yet. And these people who have paid thousands and thousands for this stuff, and he took the entire shipment to these battery walls down to Haiti, that were technically, and not until they were in their customers' homes, that Elon still owned them technically. But he took this whole production line down and powered all that relief effort with these before he said, right, we've done what we need to do now. We can ship them back off to customers.
He is Tony Stark.
Yeah, he's just fucking awesome. He really is. But we're going to wrap it up there. But we do have, remember, superhero bar fight to come. We've got the final. Or you got something else?
Yeah, no. Just to add on to superhero bar fight, I was speaking to a friend of the show, Chris Hoskins. He works at Abrupt Audio. And him and Ant runs a show called On the Left Side, which is a huge show. It's huge. They want to do a cross-branding superhero bar fight next week, so that they can put us on their social media and get us a few more listeners, which is a really nice touch from them. So look for that later. I think they've asked for the superheroes, Batman versus Ant-Man, because Ant being Ant and Chris likes Batman. and we're not sellouts, but these guys have actually been really good behind the scenes for us. So we're going to do that next week, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm happy doing that.
We'll put our logo on and their logo. I think they want to do a video as well. I mean, I'm going to speak to them, and we'll organise that for next week.
Yeah, man. But yes, coming up, the final Darth Maul versus Agent Venom. And we will see you sexy motherfuckers next week.
Peace out, bitches. I love you very much.
Welcome to Superhero Bar Fight. We're doing the final, so the last 3 weeks.
Final!
This is what it's been building up to. I'm excited for this one. I really am.
The final countdown.
We are also officially taking requests for a new host, so I'm trying to get rid of this one. He's free to a good home, so just put your applications in. We'll take each one seriously, no matter what qualifications and experience you've got. So email that to Thors-Kin. Anyway, Agent Venom is going up against Darth Maul. They've made it through the rain. They've beat their people.
Yeah, and do you think we got it right?
Well,
who gives a shit?
Again, I going back to that very first fight, which would completely change things. Agent Venom versus Master Chief. The more I'm playing Halo Wars 2 at the moment, I'm looking at the videos of people who aren't even anything on Master Chief, of them kicking ass, and I'm just like, oh, did we get that right? But
it would have changed things as well, because I think Jason Todd could have taken Master Chief. No way, he would. Ooh. Yeah. Ooh. No, I think so.
Ooh. Anyway, Agent Venom. We'll quickly flick through this because we've been through it loads of times before. We know he's got the super strength and agility, and something I think is going to come into massive play here, healing factor and such, and the wall crawl. Spider senses, giving him sort of a sensory perception of everything coming his way before it even happens, and his matter generation with all the tentacles and everything that you associate with Venom, all the symbiote stuff, all the goo, all of that shit. And he ain't got no legs. He ain't got no legs, people, but he can still walk.
And on the opposite side of the coin, you've got Darth Maul. He's got his double lightsaber. He's also really good with the Force. He's very acrobatic. He's mind probing as well. And of course, the Shadow Tactician, which I don't know why Jimmy put this on here, because it's a spur of the moment fight. Yeah.
Don't you question my judgment when it comes to superhero bar fights, sir?
And we need to take into account that Darth Maul took out a demigod in the last round, so he's pretty fucking badass.
He took out a demigod in the last round for just the pure way that the abilities stacked up against each other. Though I think you could throw a bunch of people who Kratos would win against that wouldn't then be able to beat Darth Maul. Like, it's just the way that the abilities stack up, I think. So, are they in a bar?
They're in a bar. No, I think we should put them in a train yard.
In a train yard? Why a train yard?
I'll make it interesting. There's a train yard. I was thinking of the Incredibles when he's like using the trains. I just want them to be in a train yard. They're in a fucking train yard, all right?
All right, okay, Jesus.
They're in a train yard.
It doesn't have to get personal.
They're taking Agent Venom's taking down numbers of trains he hasn't got on his list yet. Darth Maul turns up and he's like, "You can't take that train because it's not right. It's not the right number." And Agent Venom's like, "Hey man, I need this train. I need this number." This is how I imagine train people do things.
What? That was the what? Oh my god! This is
train
how
spotters.
I imagine train people do things.
They take numbers and shit, don't they? So train spotters, he's taking numbers, and Darth Maul's like, "You can't take that. It's not the right number." And he's like, "I really need this fucking train, man." And he's like, "Don't take that tongue with me. I'll cut that smile off your face." And that's where it begins, okay? There's trains everywhere, lots of space. Go.
So, first of all, Darth Maul's just gonna lose his shit and go, "You know what? I've had enough of this. I've had to put up with the fucking Joker. I've had to put up with Kratos. I'm just gonna absolutely annihilate this bitch straight from the first second." Double lightsaber on, vroom, vroom, and just right bumper, does his whirlwind attack and just goes to cut him in half straight away. And Agent Venom is in half, lying on the floor, just flopping about. And Darth Maul goes to walk off.
Then the matter regeneration happens, puts him back together, and he just laughs at him.
Yeah, it'll be one of those camera angle moments where you see Darth Maul walking away from the camera, but then Agent Venom's silhouette stand back up behind him. It'd be like one of those real cheesy moments, like a proper Wolverine Origins moment with the explosion behind him almost. And I reckon that's when it's convenient that they're in a train yard, Al, because that's when all the trains would start flying, getting thrown by the tentacles, which is really, really
Could
convenient.
he lift the train, though?
Oh, yes. He's done. Yeah, he could throw those containers, like, unit by unit. He'd only throw one train at a time. But, yeah, absolutely. I'm imagining like a container yard part thing in this as well, not just a.
Okay.
It's not a Reaver rail waiting for the fucking 1810.
Okay. Okay. So there's trains flying everywhere. Whilst he's walking back, he's not really paying attention. So he's got to get out the way very, very quickly, otherwise he's going to get flattened. I don't think
he could do that. The Force would give him a little spark of something's coming his way.
But with a train flying at him, I mean, you see like Yoda, who is like probably the best of the Force, I think you'd say, with the pods that come from the Senate.
Sounding like Donald Trump, was just like, I'm the best at the Force.
Yeah, but you got those pods from the Senate flying at him, and he kind of catches it, and he has to really try to spin it to get some momentum and then throw it. That doesn't look as heavy as a train to me.
Yeah, but at the same time, that was complete bullshit. And you're quoting the Attack of the Clones, and just again, everyone put in your CV. I'm hiring. I've got a co-host that quotes Attack of the Clones.
Dickhead. A train weighs like hundreds
Yoda,
of a ton.
That whole scene would not have played out like that. Darth Maul would easily be able to turn around and stop a train flying at him. I reckon.
Old Palps is throwing them. Old Palps is throwing it in with ease, so
yeah,
he's kind of just launching them at him. So Darth Maul, if he has that kind of power, I suppose, yeah.
Yeah, that was a bit staged for effect. I reckon Yoda would have dodged out the way. He can do 27 somersaults in one go, like between landings, but he has to strain himself to spin a disc that is shaped in a perfect way to spin a disc. Like, no, not buying it. Sorry. Darth Maul's stopping that train midair, and it's going straight back at Agent Venom.
Okay.
And again, I reckon because Agent Venom, he's going to try and get out of the way, but squish, bug against the wall.
Webs. He got the Spidey sense, and he's got the webs, so he could see it coming, and he could move out the way. Yeah, but maybe it just catches him on the ankles on his way out.
I reckon I like the idea of Agent Venom dying about 5 times during this fight, so he's squished. Okay.
All right, he says.
So Darth Maul goes to walk away again, and then cheesy moment. The container truck starts moving.
Or a black arm just reaches through.
Yeah, definitely. The black arm's going to reach up through. And he pulls himself out, and he's healing in real time as he starts crawling, and then gets up, and he's limping, and then his gait gets better, and then he's back to walking normally.
And then he whips out 2 MP45s, and he's just like bullets flying at Darth Maul.
And that's when the double lightsaber comes out, and he's doing his whole
catching the bullet.
Every bullet going out. Well, it wouldn't be deflecting, would it? They'd just be melting.
In which case, I think Darth Maul's got to take a run at him, hasn't he? He's got to.
No, I think it could be Agent Venom doing the running. I think Darth Maul's going to be just. He's got fucking full auto fire coming at him. If anyone's ever played the Spider-Man games, the most recent Amazing Spider-Man, I quote right bumper a lot. I guess games like to tie in right bumper to a certain ability. 2 webs going straight forward, and it slingshots you forward. I reckon that's going to be Agent Venom's last move to try and get the victory. But I think that double-ended lightsaber is already spinning 10,000 million revs per second, trying to block all these bullets. And it's going to be like the scene out of Resident Evil, where she gets chopped up into bits with the laser grid. and it's just bits of symbiote all over the floor.
I don't think that's going to be the killer move though, because
Well, it's not finished yet in my head.
Oh, okay.
But,
I'm gonna say because it just even doesn't matter if he's chopped into 12 or a million pieces. He just pull himself back together, can't he? Surely.
well, he can, but I don't think Darth Maul's quite gonna realise that. I think his force sensor isn't gonna, like, that's the thing, isn't quite gonna be working for the symbiote. So I think Darth Maul's gonna be pretty pissed off that he's got black goo all over his nice black boots. And he's gonna be like, job done, I've won the tournament, I'm superhero bar fight champion, I'll walk away. But there's actually no Flash left. He's in bits, but there's symbiote left. So I think as Darth Maul is walking away for the third time, thinking I've cut this guy in half, I've squashed him, I've cut this guy in a million pieces, it would be like a face hugger moment of the symbiote going, you know what's better than Flash? A guy with no legs, a guy that does have legs and a double-ended lightsaber.
Metal legs. Are we go? Yeah. Okay.
Either way, Flash doesn't have metal legs, so it's still one up. So yeah, I reckon at the end of it we would see a symbiote Darth Maul being the champion, because I don't think
Venom Darth Maul.
Yeah,
he could beat Flash, but he couldn't beat the symbiote. That's a great way to do it. So does that make it a kind of a tie in a way?
I reckon the symbiote comes out on top because of the healing factor. I think Darth Maul is going to kick Agent Venom's ass left, right, and centre any given Sunday, but I just don't think he's going to know how to cope with the symbiote. So I don't know who takes that win. Maybe we'll have to maybe a quick Google, and I can find some artwork. But I reckon we're going to have a symbiote Darth Maul holding the trophy up.
A symbiote Darth.
But the symbiote is the winner at that stage. So I think.
How do you call that though? We can't, artwork wise. How are we gonna? We can't be like it's a tie, or we can't be like. Can you imagine we just completely change the rules? I mean, just like the winner is Venom Maul.
Yeah, whoever hasn't watched it yet, just like, what the fuck? I've followed this for 4 weeks. I reckon Agent Venom's going to take the win there. Agent Venom on behalf of the symbiote. Flash is dead. He is in pieces. He's in chicken nugget chunks on the floor, and that is not a disabled joke. Like, that is just, there's bits of Flash on the floor. But now he's taken over Darth Maul, so I think, can we call it Venom?
Yeah, I guess. So can we put the winner as just Venom rather than Agent Venom? Can we do that? This tree's just going to go Agent Venom, Agent Venom, Venom.
The agent's dead, motherfuckers. And that's how we're finishing it. Do you know what? We make the rules. This is our podcast. If you don't like it, fuck you. Not literally. Oh my God, this is going to be so.
Are we actually doing that then? The winner is just Venom.
The winner is Agent Venom without the agent, with Darth Maul inside him, aka Venom.
Okay.
Boom. See you next time, guys.
Peace out, bitches. Much love.